Hello everyone, this is your favorite Murtid. Salamul Masih, peace of Christ be with each and every one of you. I hope you guys are having fun. And hello everyone, your favorite Murtid is live once again. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend and enjoyed it to your fullest. And at the same time, I hope you have watched the Infiltration of Islam series that we did, part 1, 2, 3, and season's finale, 4 total parts. I hope that everybody who's living in America had some more knowledge, some more information by watching these 4 parts about infiltration. What we have shown you over there is a very standard way of infiltration in any Cold War. It's not something new. This is how the Cold War happens. So we have shown all of these information in 4 parts, very easy, 2 hours per part, 8 hours of total information after information with references, videos, and everything. And if somebody thinks that it is incorrect information, wrong information, falsified information, they are more than welcome to challenge us. But this information is there and nobody is acting upon it. And when nobody acts upon some information, what does that mean? That they would allow these things to happen. And I was looking at Twitter today, and somehow, the Twitter account that I follow, I have seen such atrocities that I just couldn't even repost certain things. It's just so bad. The world is going down. I look at Sweden, I look at England, I look at Paris, I look at Britain. There is some uh, Capitol Hill event which was like nothing less than a pornographic thing happening in the middle of the streets of England. Unbelievable. I look at Paris and they are blocking the streets and offering prayer to supposed God who's not even a god. Like if you read the Quran, it's like I don't know, like blocking streets. And I look at the Muharram festivals because there was Chehlam happening, and Chehlam, the 40 days after the death of Imam Hussain, there was a Chehlam in the Britain, and people were out beating themselves and doing stuff, and people were out under the Paris Tower doing stuff, and I look at and I was unable to comprehend what is happening to Europe. There was Germany, and people were beating each other in the middle of the street. Britain, a person was stabbed in his neck 3 times, literally 3 times. And the people who stabbed them were laughing. And then in the end, he was saying, um, "Oh, the ambulance is there. Oh man, this guy was lucky. This guy was lucky." The guys who stabbed him because he had a stroller with a baby in the stroller and he was trying to protect his baby. It's just simply unbelievable. Like, and people talk about humanity. What is happening? What is happening to this world? Like 10 years ago, we would look at Europe and we would say, what a peaceful country it is. 10 years ago, when we look at Europe, we would look at the news and we'll be like, wow, people are enjoying there. They are having their beautiful festivals and they're enjoying there. They have wealth, they have money, and the ones who doesn't even have that much money, they're still enjoying. There was a life, there was beauty, it was culture. And now when I look at Twitter, everything has gone down the drain. I couldn't see anything. I could see immigrants from African countries coming in, bathing butt naked in the Paris, I don't know, Paris fountain thingy. where they used to put coins in and wishing well coin, where they put the coin in and wish. This guy was butt naked taking a bath in there. And like, and if you say something about it, you will be called something phobic. You'll be called a hate preacher. It's I don't have words. I'm losing my words. I can't comprehend what has happened. Not happening, has happened. Because whatever is happening right now, it is due to something that has happened in the past. Because we see the events after certain events has taken place already. It is just so unbelievable when I look at all of these things. And then you guys have people standing in the middle of the street calling Sharia and saying, whoever does not want Sharia, get out of this country. Dude, these are the people who came to Britain as migrants. Now they are calling for Sharia and saying the people who are living here way before us, if they don't want to accept Sharia, they should get out of here. I am unable to comprehend this situation. Is this the globalization that Islam wants? What is the Islamic globalization? To get everybody to Islam and give them Sharia? What is Sharia? If you look at the Sharia, Islamic law, let's use the word Islamic law, it's nothing but making humans as slaves. Slaves. Aren't these like these people can't even comprehend? They came and migrated from the countries where they had Islamic laws. They migrated from their countries because Islamic laws were not humane enough. So they had to migrate from their countries because Islamic laws were bad. They were not humane. And now they moved into these countries and they want the same Islamic laws from which they ran away from their own country. Like, do they not have brain to comprehend what they are saying? Do they not have brains to realize that their fathers or forefathers or grandfathers, they ran away from these laws and brought you idiots here? And I don't know, maybe some of them actually are the ones who got migrated, who actually migrated. So they moved to a country where there is no Islamic law, from the country where there are Islamic laws, because they could not live in those Islamic laws, and they are here and now they are calling out for Islamic laws. I don't know whether I should laugh or smile or cry, because for me, I'm unable to fathom this insanity that is happening right now. It's insanity. Does insanity has a limit? Because right now I can't see the limit of insanity over here, what they are asking for. And it's just so unbelievable that the more I see these things, the more I realize that English does not even have words for me to describe these things. Like, should I call them dumb or stupid or idiots or dumber? I don't know. Like, I, none of these words can encapsulate the true sense of meaning that is happening right now. And Twitter is full of this because there is no censorship there. Like every other social media platform has so much censorship that you can't even state the things rightfully. And then if you share it on Twitter or Facebook, Europe is going to put you in jail because you do not have the freedom of speech. So, in essence, what do we have? So, if humans can't even speak what they are supposed to speak, what difference is between now and the time of slavery at the time of Moses? When these Jewish people or Hebrew people, let's just call them Hebrews, they were enslaved by the pharaohs. When they were enslaved by the pharaohs, these Hebrew, do they had any right? No. They were paying extraordinary amount of tax, like 50% of their income is going in tax. Isn't that what's happening in London and Britain? They are taxed tremendously. They will get whatever medical facility that the government will provide. They have to work and work and work, and they have no freedom to speak. And then they can bring anybody and everybody in there, and they will even take their children because supposedly the child might be thinking that he is stuck in a male body even though he's supposed to be female. And then there is an event happens in Capitol Hill where they are almost naked, doing, I don't know what is it called, like somebody wrote it on the Twitter, tweaking, whatever that stupidity is. And the cops are standing there and they're doing nothing. And one of them actually went to the cop and gave the cop a twerking. So you have like, and then it's just so unbelievable when you look at all of these things in together. And it's there, everything is there in my Twitter. You can go to my Twitter and you watch some of the things, and then you can watch the rest. Like, there you go, let me just put it out. Like, I don't even know what faith they believe in, because these were like some from African countries, some people, I don't know what their faith system is. And then I get the Afghanistani news where a woman is being, beaten by a leather belt in the middle, and around her there are so many men watching how you beat a woman. And then some youth gang is putting fire on a parking lot. It's like I look at these news and I see, I lose my words. I didn't want to do this stream as a globalization of Islam, but I just lost my words. I wanted to do a very separate type of stream, but then I see all of this, and I'll be like, what's happening? What has happened to this world? What is happening to this world? And then we see US, America, is is still kind of safe haven for a lot of things. Yet I see a massive influx of these people coming in as refugees. And I was watching my favorite channel, Jay Bravo, and he was showing that in California, they built a huge, massive, five better than five-star hotel thing for these immigrants. Like an apartment complex which you and I would not be able to rent or buy in any way or form, putting illegal immigrants in it. Most of us here might not be able to buy these kind of apartments in which they are putting these illegal immigrants. And I have no idea what is happening. It's just what does the world wants? What are these powerful people who has money? I don't know what they want. And then they jail the person, the CEO of Telegram. The CEO Telegram is another social media app where you can speak freely, and the American whatever FBI or CIA or whatever came to them and they asked him how is it working and the source code, and he didn't give them, and hence he was put behind bar with a lot of uh, cases on him. Hey, you're supporting terrorism because somehow terrorists are using your app to do some terrorism and etc etc, whereas they are the ones who are bringing in the terrorism. Why are you even bringing in the terrorism? I don't know, but he is now behind bars. He's behind bars because he doesn't want to give the source code for governments to look into how people are communicating, because there is something called privacy. The privacy of your conversation is a basic right. It is a basic right until you prove that there is something behind this conversation which could lead to some terrorism. You are not supposed to see the conversation between two people. You are government. That is how it has happened for the entire world. And I used to watch science fiction movies 10 years ago, and those movies are in effect right now, where nothing that you do is private. Everything is being monitored. The cars that you drive in the West are all has GPS. Now, the second step is these electric cars. The cars of the gas cars or petrol cars or combustion engine cars, whatever you may like to call them, no matter where you are, where you live, because last time I was told petrol is gas in America. So petrol, which is gas in America, or combustion engine cars, they have GPS, they can track you. But when you talk about these uh, new electric cars, you can actually remotely control them. All these Tesla cars, they can be controlled remotely as well. So science fiction movies, when a person, like, it's not fiction anymore. Like 5 years from now, you will sit in your car, or 10 years from now, let's just take 10 years. 10 years from now, you'll sit in the car and say, hey car, drive me home. And the car will start driving you home, and then it will not take the turn towards your home, and you'll be like, hey car, where are you taking me? No, I cannot take you home because the government XYZ told me to bring you to the station XYZ. And the car is now not going to take you home, but rather car is going to take you to an XYZ station where you'll be asked certain questions. Hey, why did you go to this place or that place? you know this is now a possibility, a reality, because we already have uh, driverless taxis, and Uber is already testing so many driverless taxis in California, different parts of California. So if there is driverless taxis, so tomorrow the cars can say, okay, I'm not taking you home, I'm not taking you home. What's happening? It's just so crazy. The more you study, the more you read, the more you find out these things goes into a dilemma. And then all of these things are happening, you're bringing in massive amount of people who doesn't even respect your country. Like, if you go to London, they're burning the British flag. One of the guy was put to jail because he raised a British flag in UK in a mosque. A British guy in UK cannot raise a British flag. Have you ever heard of this kind of nonsense and stupidity in your life, that you can't even raise your own country's flag in your own country because supposedly the Muslims does not like it, and you're raising the country flag in a mosque? You're raising, you cannot raise your own country's flag in your own country. What is the world has come down to? What has happened? Why is this happening? Why were we not able to see these things before Islamicization of the West? How is it possible? Like, let me show you this. Let me show you this. This guy, check this out. This guy raised a British flag in Britain. In Britain. This guy.
Anything about law, 90, how many, I mean, how many actually go to trial? 2%? I bet you I'm right, since I taught law. Everyone pleads out. They're like, yeah, okay, what do I have to do? I'm kind of not happy being in jail right now, so what would you like to plea? And this actually just happened. European breaking news: British boy who waved England flag outside of North Yorkshire Islamic Center was jailed. So
There you go. So a British boy cannot raise a British flag in Britain. And I showed you last time a news about a woman who was on the street side, who prayed to his her God silently, was actually put in handcuffs in jail. So you look, she won the case. She won the case because this is the girl I showed you last time as well. She was handcuffed and put in jail because she was standing on the side of the street, on a sidewalk or footpath, depending on where you live, path, and she was praying with her eyes closed. Check this out.
even go a step further. Okay. I know this sounds crazy, but what seems crazy now won't be crazy later, because you're like, wow, how does Bravo always predict all this? He does the charts things. Looks like you guys are going to be Netflixing and chilling on that sum of money. But this young lady was standing here praying, and she was arrested. But we do have some good news.
So she was arrested 5 days ago, and now she's out because she's like, can you prove that I was praying? Because I was silently praying. Remember the sentence that I showed you last time? She was put in jail because she was silently praying. So she was standing on the corner, standing praying, but she was not vocalizing the words. She was silently playing. So now she's been given 13,000 pounds because they could not prove that she was praying, because she was silently praying. So imagine if she was not silently praying, then she was supposed to be in jail. So you see all of these things left, right, and center in Britain, which is supposed to be, or supposedly, which is not supposed to be, but supposedly a Christian country. You can't even silently pray as a Christian in Britain. And then, because of all of this mass immigration, and then you come to US. Now from Britain, let's go directly to US. And now US is building for these immigrants what?
That I am homeless. You guys got to check this out. Okay. It's California.
Grand opening for a high-rise homeless shelter featuring apartments with skyline views, a gym, even a cafe.
Eyewitness News reporter Mark Cotaropolis joins us here in studio with details on this.
We're going to show you what $165 million will get you. It's considered affordable housing, but the cost to build this type of a project, it still adds up. Each unit costs nearly $600,000, and it's being funded by taxpayers. Take a look at the images here. There are 278 units in this 19-story development known as the Weingart Tower. It's intended to help people currently without shelter on Skid Row. This will be LA's largest permanent supportive housing project. There is an entire floor of offices for caseworkers, and the list of amenities is pretty impressive. As you mentioned, there's a gym, an art room, a music room, and a computer room and library. People living here will enjoy 6 common balconies and a cafe. The new tower is also receiving state housing funds and $56 million.
And you are telling me this thing is for people who immigrated without documentation, without education, without anything. So the people who immigrated illegally will live in more than $500,000 house with all of these amenities for free, with gyms, swimming, cafes, and all of these kind of things for free, so that after they are healthy, wealthy, and wise, they can do exactly what they did in Britain. So that they could do exactly what they have done in Britain. So previously, I was saying to the people in the West, especially the people in coma, and I would say quotes in quotes, white people who are in coma right now, they are not even sleeping. Like the people who is sleeping, they'll wake up when these kind of things are happening around them. They are supposed to wake up. They're supposed to wake up and say, no, I'm not going to let my house burn. Or, they're going to say, no, 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 I'm not going to let my house burn. No, no, no. They're going to wake up. But then there are people who are not sleeping. They are in coma. Just like Usama Dagdog said, these people are in coma. These so-called quotes in quotes white people, because I don't call them white. They are not white. They are peachy. Like they are peachy. They are not white. They are peachy. I don't know why somebody started calling them white. They are peachy. Okay, they are peach color skin. Peachy color. So I don't know. Quotes in quotes white. I have no idea why they are in coma. Like all of this information is out. This is a time of information system. It's out, and I have no idea why everyone is still sleeping or in coma. I can't even show those pictures that are in my Twitter where these white people are being beaten brutally in the streets of the Great Britain. So-called white. They're not white, they're peachy. And I have no idea what to do. I have no idea how to tell them, hey, listen, wake up. I've done 4 parts of infiltration. The same way it happened in Britain, the same way it is happening in Germany, the same way it has happened in Paris. France is gone. Okay, it's gone. Britain is gone. Germany can still be saved. But everyone is sleeping. They are in coma. And I have no idea why. I don't know why. They can't see what has been happening in Pakistan. Okay, Pakistan is too far away. The language is different. Fair enough. They don't know what happened in Pakistan. They don't know what is happening in India. Perfect. Nobody is India, Hindi language. They don't know Tamil language. So many of the languages we don't know. Okay, perfect, perfect. You don't know what is happening in Bangladesh. Oh, it's political. It's not Islamic. It's political and all that. Okay, okay. Forget Bangladesh. Yeah, yeah. Iran. Yeah, they are like communists. Forget Iran. They're communists. It's like it's nothing to do with Islam. Forget. Hey, look at Britain. What excuse do you have now? Look at France. What excuse do you have right now? Look at Romania, France, Britain. Like Germany, come on, guys. Why is everybody sleeping? Can anybody tell me why everyone is sleeping? And especially a white person, if they can join, the link is in the stream. It's pinned. Especially somebody from America or Canada or Britain, if they can come up and tell me why everybody is sleeping. And then somebody is saying next election will change things. Next election will change. Nothing is going to change things. How can election change things? You're telling me election can change things. In the West, election or the president is there for 4 years or 5 years. I think America is 4 years, Canada is 5 years, Britain is same 4 5 years. It's like, how can a person, even if he, let's assume a right winger might win the election. Let's assume, which is really, really difficult right now because the way they have encapsulated and overpowered everything. So they will overpower elections as well. I don't think a right winger will win the election in any way or form. But even if they win, that's like 4 years. And just like Protestant believers said, it's 4 years. So even if a right winger wins, that's 4 years. Okay. What will happen after 4 years? They have been doing this infiltration from the last 30 years, and now they are at a tipping point and where they are doing what they are doing. Do you think they'll not wait for another 4 years? Yeah, they'll go dormant. What's the problem? Haven't you seen SCADAs going dormant for 17 years before coming out? For them, going dormant for 4 years is not even a problem. They'll go dormant for 4 more years. What's the problem? And they don't even have to go dormant for every location. They'll go dormant in some locations. New York, they will never go dormant. Mississauga, Greater Toronto region, they won't go dormant there. One of my friend who lives in Texas showed me a video, and every shop, almost every shop in those streets were halal shops. And I'm talking about Texas, one of the most redneck states ever. Like, when I was a child, I was told redneck state, where people are like so Americanized and they would even accept anybody else in the entire world, and they have guns and all the yada yada yas, and the wild west kind of a thing. Texas, you know every other shop was a halal food shop. And you're telling me, oh, Texas will save us, the right wing state. Texas? It's gone. What are you talking about? You have brought in so many immigrants, it's gone. You guys are not making babies, they are making tons of babies. You guys are making one baby or two baby at max. So your average baby is 1.5. So two people are making 1.5 babies. You are going extinct. They on the average are making 5 babies. So two are making 5. So every two are making 5 on the average. They are going to occupy it just by making babies. Forget conversion. They don't even have to convert now, because everyone else has stopped making babies. So they don't even have to convert a single person anymore. They'll just have to do what they're doing, is making babies. That's it. And that's what they're doing. So next election won't change anything unless you change something. What are you changing? Are you talking to people who are influenced towards Islam? I was watching the video from God Logic. 3 days ago, he had a discussion of approximately 3 hours long discussion with a person born in a Christian house who is now influenced towards accepting Islam. And he thought Islam is the religion which gives peace and gives the true meaning of God. And he had a 3 hours long discussion with that guy. Are you doing similar? You know, it is such a stupidity that this cult speaks so much lies. Like, when they actually say something true, I get shocked and I'm like, really? This this mufti, this scholar actually said the truth? How can it be? Like when I'm watching these videos of these Maulanas and Muftis, and I'll be like, lie, 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 and I'll be like counting the lies that this guy is speaking, and suddenly after 4 or 5 minutes, the guy will actually say something true, and I'll be like, I'll be shocked. I'm like, ooh la la, he finally said something true. Finally, he said something true. Is it's shocking sometimes when I hear something true coming out of their mouth. There was a time when I was saying, hey, you count, you can, when Zakir Nalaik is speaking, he will say 10 lies in 5 minutes. The problem is now I have to count the truth, and I like, stop counting lies, Adam. Let's start counting the truth. And I'll be like watching, 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 and after 10 minutes, he will tell you something truth. That's how it is. And it's everywhere. You watch these Lipum guy in the West, who, if you look at his face, you'll be like, is he a guy or a girl? I don't know. Maybe because of facial hairs, you might say he's a guy, but otherwise he's a girl. And you'll see, like, no matter how many people you'll see, it's just so unbelievable that they will just spit out lies after lies, and they won't even give you any references because they know that it's lies. So there's no point in giving references. Why would they give reference when they're just spitting lies? And at the end of the day, what they want is to occupy and put Islamic law there. And what is Islamic law? It's brutality towards humans. And I can show it to you. I'll show it to you. Like, pick any page of Sharia manual and you will see brutality there. Nothing else. You won't even see anything else other than brutality if you look at it. You know, unbelievable. I have no idea. I have no idea. Like, I wanted to do a different kind of a discussion, but then this YouTube, you know, it changed me. It just literally, I I wanted to talk about something else, and it's just suddenly I just could not. After looking at all these things, I was like, I need to put my thoughts out today. Like, instead of doing a specific topic, I need to put my thoughts out because I am saddened. I am saddened, and I have no words at this moment on what is happening in the world right now. And the problem is that I'm part of this world. I am part of this world, unfortunately. I wish Elon Musk could build something sooner and take me to Mars, because this world is not going to be livable anytime soon. Ah, the- that's how it is. You know, the religion which actually tells you, like, if you read Sharia, you know, Sharia is Islamic law. Islamic law. You know, when there is a manual on how to lie, like manual on how to lie, what do you expect? There's a manual called lying, and then there's a manual called permissible lying. So when you have like 20 pages after this, which will tell you how to lie and what type of lies are permissible, one, two, three, four, and how to exaggerate, and five and six, and misleading information, and seven, And speaking of taxes as the ruling right, 7, 8, 9, there are pages after pages on how you are supposed to lie, modes of lying, types of lying, and how you can lie. What do you expect? What do you expect? Like it's their inbuilt theology to lie. It's something like thou shall not lie, and they are like the 10 commandments. One of the commandment is thou shall not lie. Okay, and Islamic commandment is thou shall lie except when you cannot lie. Like literally speaking, thou shall lie except when you don't have to lie. It's a flip. It is literally a flip. Flip of the 10 commandments. It's the opposite. You see, that's why I don't even know what to do and what to say. Absolutely, Protestant believer. Why don't you join in, Protestant believer? Join in if you can. If you have time and you are at a place where you can join in, do join in, because I wanted to put this burden out of my chest by my words, because I don't have words right now. It just poured into my heart and my mind, and I just couldn't do that. It's unbelievable. And Protestant believer is here. Hey Ed, how are you? Ed, you are mute. Okay, let's see if Ed can find how to unmute himself for the time being. So guys, this is the beginning of today's live stream, and now I'm gonna go into our subject. And I'm sorry I took like almost 45 minutes trying to explain what is happening, because this is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing what I'm doing right now is because I see all of these things happening. Previously, I was saying, hey, look at Pakistan. I come from Pakistan. This is what is happening there. Now, I don't have to say, look at Pakistan. I have to say, look at Britain. I can say, look at France. I can say, look at Britain. You see, things have changed. I don't even have to use Pakistan as example. I don't even need to use Pakistan as example. The West has so many examples right now that I don't even have to use Pakistan as example anymore. All right, let me take a short break, and I'll be right back. And in this short break, I will change my heart and mind, and we'll go in a subject.
Hello Habibis and Sheikh Ntika lovers. If you would like to support Adam Seeker, please go to Patreon and show your support. www.patreon.com/Adam Seeker. We thank you all for your kindly support and enjoy the video. By the way, this was a commercial break. And also, please don't forget to comment and like and also subscribe. You know, it's free, Habibis. Don't be tight like Muhammad and Muhammad's father, Abdullah, and Abdullah's father. Anyway, let's don't go in there. God bless you all. Please go to Patreon and make your donations. Only if you would like to support. We don't force like Muhammad. Hello, Habibis and chicken tikka lovers. If you would like to support Adam Seeker, please go to Patreon and show your support. www.patreon.com/Adam Seeker. We thank you all for your kindly support and enjoy the video. By the way, this was a commercial break. And also, please don't forget to comment and like and also subscribe. You know, it's free, Habibis. Don't be tight like Muhammad and Muhammad's father, Abdullah, and Abdullah's father. Anyway, let's don't go in there. God bless you all. Please go to Patreon and make your donations. Only if you would like to support. We don't force like Muhammad.
Welcome back. Thank you so very much for being here. Today I was exploring YouTube, and I saw a channel by the name Rebecca, and the title of her channel was pretty unbelievable for me. And I was like, it was like freedom of speech and Islam, something like that. Let me just verify the title, and I will let you know. So it was like Rebecca, and I had no idea who Rebecca is, and I had no idea what she was doing and what she is she has been doing. It's my first time going there. So the channel name was Rebecca Bar Sif, and the title was "Insulting Islam Isn't Freedom of Speech. Why can't you understand? Is it just too difficult for you? Insulting Islam isn't freedom of speech." And I was like, dude, is it a sarcastic one or is it a true title? And I was like, let me just see. And I went there, and there were quite a few people who knew me, and they were like, just jump in, jump in. And I went there, and yes, she was a Israeli Jew, and she was talking about Islam, and things were going in a different direction. And there I spoke about this particular thing because there was another guy, probably from America, because he was talking about the First Amendment and the Second Amendment, and I was like, you have to tell me what these amendments are. And he was trying to explain Islam in a very beautiful type of way. And I was like, dude, are you an idiot? Like, have you studied Islam? Have you studied Quran? Have you studied Hadith? Have you studied Sharia? What have you studied? Like, you're coming to me after listening to certain videos or maybe certain people who lives around you, and you're giving me this bitty yada yada things without any information. And I kind of given him some information. Maybe he'll see my channel, maybe one day he'll come back here, but these kind of people who had no knowledge would rather not join me because they know I'm going to expose them with the references and destroy their idiotic belief system by these references, because at the end of the day, I only challenge what is written. What is written? And yes, if you look at Islam, there is no compulsion in religion. That's part of Quran. If you look at Islam, you have your religion and I have mine. That's part of Quran. But then go and fight those who does not who disbelieved. That's also part of Quran. Go and kill the mushrikeen wherever you find them, the one who polytheist people, wherever you find them, besiege them, hide in their ways. This is also part in Quran. Fight the people of the book, which is Jews and Christians, until they accept Islam or pay jizya, so that they will be humiliated. That's also part of Quran. Fight lightly or heavily with your money, with your wealth, and your body. That's also part of Quran. Ya Muhammad, if they don't obey you and go out to fight with you, you should not even offer prayer for them, funeral prayer, because they have died a death of hypocrite. So Muhammad don't even offer their prayer. That's also part in Quran. So when we look at Quran with all these contradictory verses, how do you comprehend Quran in totality? There's a very simple way. The way of the Muslims scholars who has written the tafsirs, the interpretation of these verses. And there are only two types of interpretations. Not three, not four, not five, not 10, only two. Interpretation number one, the verses where there is you have your religion and I have mine, and don't fight with the people who did not attack you, and uh, Islam is Islam does not compel. All of these verses, according to them, are abrogated by the verses of go and fight and go and do jihad. That's interpretation number one. Interpretation number two, these verses are valid when you are not in power in a Muslim Islamic law country. When you are not in Islamic law country, obey the laws of that particular time and that particular country, because you do not have manpower. So there you will say you have your religion, I have mine. There you will say Islam does not allow you to fight until you they have been inflicted by something. And there you have your religion and I have mine. But when you are in power, according to Quran chapter number 47 ayat number 35, oh you who believe, do not go for peace when you are superior in number. Now Allah is with you and he will never deprive you of his power. So when Muslims comes in majority, then the verses of fighting comes into play. So these are only two interpretation when you see these contradictory verses. There is never a third ruling on these verses. No, never a third one. You will not find a third interpretation, whether you read Ibn Kasir, Qurtubi, Tibri, or any other scholar in between Tibri and Ibn Kasir. You will not find a third interpretation because there is no third interpretation. So either you are deceiving the non-Muslims around you by waiting until you have the power to inflict the right Islamic laws on those non-Muslims, or you know that these verses are abrogated, you have to fight, so you will go and join ISIS or stuff like that, so that you will do that even when you are not in power, even though the rest of the Muslims are going to say ISIS is not Islamic, Islamic Brotherhood is not Islamic, they have nothing to do with Islam, they are extremists, they are fundamentalist and all this yada yada yada. By the way, if you are fundamentalist or extremist, it means you are following your tradition and your theology to the core at the fundamental level, which should not be a bad thing, it should be a good thing. It means you follow your theology to its core, which is actually a bad thing. But this cult actually made these words, the fundamentalist and extreme, a bad word, even though it should not be a bad word, it should be a good word. It should be a good word. So if Ed, who is with me, Ed, can you speak now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So if Ed
Okay.
becomes fundamentalist, extremist in believing the words of Christ, and will not even take things as hyperbolic or parabolic. So if Ed will go in the top-notch extreme when he's walking down the street, if his friends comes and slap his right cheek, he will have to give the left cheek. If his friend is hungry and doesn't have anything and he asks for his clock, he will give his shoe as well. That is called extreme, fundamental. But Muslims by themselves are saying that these IS and Brotherhood are extremist, fundamentalist. It means if you follow this religion to its core, you will be inhumane. Ed, did I say anything wrong?
No, you didn't. As a matter of fact, I, I try not to use the word extreme or fundamental because you know the guys that aren't doing exactly what Muhammad did aren't real Muslims, but the guys that are, they're Muslims. They're the real thing, right? They're not extreme. ISIS are the best of Muslims, as far as I'm concerned. Um, but the other thing that I'd like to point out is that throughout the Bible we see when a nation comes under God's judgment, this is what He does. He brings the wicked in, right, to pass His judgment upon them. And we're seeing this happen in a lot of different places right now because these people have fallen away from Christ. So today it's Islam. Back in Daniel's time, it was Nebuchadnezzar, right? Um, so this is history repeating itself again. So Daniel also said that well, what we would like to call the Antichrist, I forget the exact word, but he said he will seek to change times and laws. And Islam has their own calendar after Hijra, and they have their own laws, Sharia law. They're
The
fulfilling
La La Land.
prophecy. Yeah, they're fulfilling prophecy right before our eyes, people. We're seeing
You
it
know,
right before our eyes.
I was, I am scared when I read the Bible and I read these prophetic words. I get scared. You know why?
Why?
Because really bad times are coming. You know, when this thing happened, the Olympics,
Yep.
and before that, I was like, uh, how can the pale horse with rider will ever be shown uh, in this time? I was like, it's not possible, this has to mean something different, and I was like,
Yeah.
the fourth seal, to open the fourth seal fully, it has to have the pale rider, right? And I was like, what is this? Like, what does this represent? And I was thinking in my mind, and I was like, what does this represent? I need to figure this out because the fifth seal is really really bad. It's killing people. It's the atmos venoms, right? It's not like COVID. It's destructive, right? So the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God. For the word of God, mean all the Christian apologists or majority of them,
Right.
and for the testimony which they held, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, thou dost not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth. And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it will be said to unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal. Okay, forget the sixth seal. So this is really going to be bad, right? It's really going to be bad on all the true believers. So it's like before the fifth seal, fourth has to be open fully. And how will you have the pale horse and the dark rider? And these idiots did that. It's like they're mocking God, saying, you said that, there you go, your pale horse and your death rider. They just showed it up live and everybody saw that. It's like on satellite TV, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, everywhere. They just showed the pale horse with the death rider.
Oh.
So you don't even have
Well,
to assume what will be the pale horse and what will be the rider. It's just, they just
yeah.
they just showed it.
But they may have shown that, but they actually show they didn't quite understand what it meant, because if you look at Revelation 20 verse 4, it says, "And I saw thrones, and they that sat on them, and judgment was committed to them. Then I saw souls of those who had been beheaded for their witness to Jesus and for the word of God, who had not worshipped the beast or his image," Blackstone maybe, "and had not received his mark on their foreheads," Zabiba maybe, "or in their hands." The Allah is one pointing up, right?
Yep.
And they lived and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. Now the four horsemen, you know, their colors are red, black, white, and the last one has confused people because it says pale. But if you look at the Greek of the word, it says chloros. And chloros is a derivative or a root for chloroform. And everybody knows that chloroform is green in color. It's what makes all the plants and leaves and everything green, right? So you have all of the colors of Islam right there in the four horsemen.
And it's already happening.
Yeah,
It's there in the West fully.
sure.
It's fully there in the
Yeah.
West. And
I
and
really I really hurt for the guys in Britain right now.
oh, tell me about it, man. When I see these things, it's like I have no idea how how people can be these stupid to not realize it what they are doing in the Britain, because it's just so unbelievable. And they keep on lying, like I showed you earlier. There are pages after pages about how to lie and why they need to lie. Like one of the very beautiful passage, let me show it back to you. One of the very beautiful passage about lying is this one. Let me show you.
Oh
Here you are.
yeah.
Now check this out. Forget this one. I'll show you the beautiful passage. This one. So this is under permissible lying, and it says, read with me and you will enjoy this. Check this out. The best analysis of it I have seen, it's in green, is by Imam Hamid Al Ghazali, who said, speaking is the mean to achieve objectives. If a praiseworthy aim is attainable through both telling the truth and lying, it is unlawful to accomplish it through lying, because there is no need for it. When it is possible to achieve such an aim by lying but not by telling the truth, it is permissible to lie if attaining the goal is permissible. For example, i.e., when purpose of lying is to circumvent someone who is preventing one from doing something permissible, i.e., you don't accept Islam, okay, that, and it becomes obligatory to lie. It becomes faraz, it becomes obligatory to lie. It's an obligation to lie if your aim is to achieve something which is permissible. So they are giving dawa to Christian youth who does not know the Bible. They can lie. No. Sorry. Sorry, let me rephrase. It is obligatory to them to lie. So any question which this youth is going to ask them, and they know that the right answer might not let him accept Islam as a good faith to accept, they are going to circumvent a lie because it is now obligatory to them to lie. This is the reality of this cult. This is
Yeah.
how
It's
real it could be.
bad. There's no doubt. Even we even see parts of Matthew 24 happening right before our eyes as well. You know, the one of the first things that Jesus said in his discourse was, "Take heed that no one deceives you." Now, why is that so important? Because what is one of Allah's favorite names?
The deceiver.
Uh, yeah, Makar.
That's a false deceiver. Khairul makirin, brother. And that is why this is
Yes.
one of my favorite Old Testament verses as well. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Very beautiful verse. Malachi chapter number 6, verse number 4, or chapter number 4, verse number 6. Either of the two, I forgot which one. But it's a very favorite verse. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. You guys are not even attaining knowledge. And if you won't attain knowledge, anybody can deceive you. And
Yep.
my purpose is to give you the information.
But you know why it doesn't scare me? Because
Please enlighten me.
we're seeing this stuff happen. That means Jesus is around the corner, bro.
He's real.
We may we may live to see his return. You know.
We still have two
Uh,
more seals, so maybe not. Maybe our children. I'm
I don't
still
know, man.
skeptical about it because it's not that close. We still have two
Yeah.
more seals.
But yeah, it does say that you'll hear of wars and rumor of wars. So do not be troubled. Be troubled because these things must come to pass. That's another reason why I'm not troubled with it. It's like, yes, it's coming true. Here it is. For nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines, pestilences. We've seen pestilences out the wazoo, man. COVID, all kinds of stuff, and earthquakes in various places. There's earthquakes happening all over the place. We see earthquakes devastating places in Turkey and Japan. It's causing tsunamis everywhere, um, and this is just the beginning of sorrows.
Yeah, I was watching about another disease that is coming to America, which is spread by mosquitoes, and it is taking its toll in Florida and another part of the world. I don't know which one. So mosquito bites are killing people in a few states of America. Do you know about that?
Yeah, that's what happens when you turn the borders loose and just let them all flood in. I mean, you got sick people coming in from sick countries that don't take care of their people, and they're flooding in and they're spreading their disease. So there's your pestilences, right?
Yeah. So
Um,
they're like up north. There is a country, not a country. It's a state.
yeah.
Milwaukee. Milwaukee, is that
Oh,
a state in America?
yeah. Well, it's a city. Uh, Milwaukee is a pretty big city. Um, uh, it's as a
Real,
matter of fact, that's where a lot of some of the best tools are made. You know.
yeah, something is happening in north and south altogether because of mosquitoes. So
Yeah.
things are pretty darn bad if you ask me.
Yeah, that's in Wisconsin. That's up on the Canadian border. But yeah, I mean, then you have everybody over in Michigan, Dearborn. That's turned into uh, basically a Muslim area. Um, so yeah, they're starting to come in. But the one thing that I will say is that also Jesus tells us in the Bible that the gates of hell shall not prevail against His church. So always keep that in the back of your head, right? This is why we need to be out preaching Christ and making people aware of of Him and bringing them to Him. That's our job. That's what we're
This
supposed
guy
to be
actually
doing.
said that something similar as well a couple of days ago. This is an older news, but I like this guy anyways. I watch his channel, so check this out.
Down here in Florida. Now, can I expense some of the trip? But if you are up north from me, that would be Massachusetts, Boston. That's where I had the highest blood pressure, 200. Since fixed that, closer to 100. So bravo, not dead yet. Looks like the kids are already coming out in droves. Let's spray this thing. spray. Let them play. I say no. Lock them down so we can trade, which I will show you. I have some.
Yeah, Massachusetts town approves a voluntarily lockdown after dark as fear of incurable mosquito-borne infection grown. That's in Florida and in Massachusetts, and there is another news that I read on some other news event in Milwaukee. So like, it's quite a few states right now. It's not a isolated incident anymore.
Yeah, it's voluntary. Now, one thing that I will tell you is the job that I do has me travel a lot of areas, and I can tell you that this COVID thing was a bunch of crap. It was a lie because the areas that I went to uh, that were supposed to have all of these COVID patients had none. It was zero. A huge lie. And they'll probably want to shut us down for saying that, but I'm just sorry, man. It's not
No,
what
I would
they
not
tried to
say
make it out to be.
COVID is a lie. COVID was not a lie.
Well, no, the
But the lie
COVID is
was
real,
the amount of people that they
right?
actually showed is a lie. So they, like, there's something called fear. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
when they do not know about something, the fear comes in and creeps in. So you would see when they were reporting the people died of COVID in that year, you will not find a single person who died of flu. You will not find a single person who died of cold. You will not find a single person who died of any other illness, because everybody who
yeah,
died, they're like, oh,
yep,
it's COVID. Everybody who died, this is COVID.
yep.
No heart attacks, COVID. No brain injury, COVID. Everything is COVID. So they exaggerated the numbers to put the fear in the heart and mind. And at the same time, it's not all government, maybe it's the humans as well. Oh, he sneezed, achoo, oh god, it's a
Uh,
fear in people that cause people to do. One of the saying, I don't know if it is scientifically true or not. One of the saying in our part of the world is, people don't die of the poison of snake bite, they die of the fear of snake bite.
yeah,
People do not die from the snake bite poison, rather they die because of the fear of snake bite. So this is another thing, that how they misrepresented the information about COVID.
yeah. It was all about, you know, how do we test our new drug? Hey, I got an idea. Let's make a new virus and have everybody take the new drug, right? That's one way to do it. Take the jab, got to make it mandatory, right? Take the jab. Let's see how it works. And a lot of people did. A lot of people had to because the companies they work for forced them to.
Yep. And a lot of people left their jobs and said, no, we are not going to take it.
Yeah,
You don't want to
exactly.
accept it, don't accept it. So yep, that's
I
pretty darn bad how they made it happen.
Now I will admit that before we knew what it was, there was a lot of sickness and where we have to deal with a lot of people. Uh, I can tell you that there was a big load of Chinese that came in, and it was about a month after they left, everybody started getting sick. So we can definitely thank uh, probably uh, our Chinese government for doing this. That would be my guess. I would
Dude,
expect them
it's
to do
not
something
about
like
just
this.
China. The people that are coming from different part of the world.
Sure.
Previously when they used to come in the airport, they would be scanned, or and they would be asked for vaccination, because you come from this kind of a country, you will have to
Right.
present your vaccination record and all of these things. Now you just brought in like 30 million people. The official number
Yeah.
is what, 12 million or 11 million. I would multiply it by 2 and make it 30 approximately. So they brought in like 30 million people, and none of them are scanned for any of these disease.
Right.
It's it's how stupid it is. You just simply cannot do that, and they did
Yeah.
it. Thank you. And in America, I don't think I went to another country where the number of vaccinations that you have to get done for your children are far less than Pakistan, because Pakistan has far more airborne diseases than that country, and hence you do not have to go through all of these vaccinations. So vaccination numbers are far less
Yep.
in America, for sure, I think, as other parts of the world as well.
Yeah.
But now you're bringing people from anywhere of this world, and you don't know whether they are fully vaccinated or not. So they're going to bring in the diseases which your people in your part of the world has never seen, or
Right.
have not seen for decades, or has been called removed from your land from decades ago. So, and I know in most of the parts of the world, polio vaccination is not been given because there is no polio there anymore. But in my country, you have to give polio drops as vaccination for kids because polio is not eradicated from there. So
Yeah.
all of these things, you don't realize it's just so many things that you're bringing in, and you don't even know because you have not scanned them. You just brought in thousands and thousands of people into this world, into this part of the world, and let alone you don't even know what kind of extremist ideologist you actually brought in as well. Like
Yeah.
today, my stream as went out from Islam and globalization to just simply globalization because of what I've seen in Twitter. This is one of the most rarest stream that I'm doing right now because this is not how I work, but s- so I had to get this out of my chest. It's just so crazy what is happening to the West. It's going down the drain.
Yeah. Well, like I said, man, Satan knows his time is short, and it sure does seem like he's on the move big time because his time's almost up. And there's going to be a point where he's going to be locked up for 1,000 years. And things will be really great for a while, but even with him locked up, it'll start going south again. We can be just because of who we are, what we are. We're a fallen creation, man. Uh, so, there towards the end of that 1,000 years of Christ's reign, um, he's going to be turned loose again for a little while to take those who would be with him before Christ, before the new heaven and new earth come. But yes, we've got to see everything, especially in Scripture, that Jesus said was going to happen. It all has to happen. Sorry, guys, but that's just the way it is. I don't want to go through it either. But what's really crazy is my mother told me when I was young, she says, I don't think it's going to happen in my time. She says, but I think it's going to happen in your time. I'm like, oh, man. And it's looking like she was right.
She is definitely right. And somebody was talking about monkeypox or mpox. Guys, it's not New York. Whoever said New York. Uh, the maximum amount of numbers of mpox is being shown in California. 10 out of every 100,000 residents have been cited by having mpox. It's just so crazy. So you have
Yep.
brought in so many people in California without checking them for their inborn diseases, and hence this mpox, which was not there in, okay, Lydia is saying in Boston too. Boston also, Massachusetts has a lot of illegal aliens as well. New York has a lot of illegal aliens, and California has a lot of illegal aliens. So you will see all of these things happening where most of illegal aliens just jumped in because they are bringing in so many inborn diseases which they are not vetted for, which they have not received the proper vaccinations for, because they just jumped in. So it's inevitable. And now the problem is that American people are not vaccinated for these kind of things because they were not here. These diseases were not here, so vaccinations are not even there. So what's going to happen? everyone is a high risk person now, because none of these people have these vaccinations given, because they haven't been
Yeah,
given. So it's very um, unlikely that it won't spread, because it will. There is no way that it
yeah,
won't spread.
yeah. And I remember when I was young, I had to take all those vaccinations, so I'm good when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I've gone through all the normal stuff anyway, so I'm not I myself, I'm not too worried about it. I'm I'm on the other side of that bridge now, so I don't worry about it too much. But I am keeping a daily eye on scripture and what's going on out there, who's doing what, um, and I'm really, really praying, and I would really hope that everybody that's listening here pray for the United Kingdom, and Europe as a whole, but definitely the United Kingdom. They need our prayers big time. Um, give them your prayers because they need it. Uh, gotta. That's the most powerful weapon that we have, and if God hears us, which He does, but the more He hears us, the louder we become, the more He loves hearing from us. But if we let Satan take over, he's going to let him have his way. He's going to show us, hey, this is what you want. Have it. All yours. You don't want me, here's the guy that you want. And that's how
but
that's how God rolls.
but brother, when I read the scripture, this is going to happen. So if you think God is real, which I know that you think God is real, and you believe God is real, then His words are real. Then His words are saying that, the people who hold the testimony of God will be slain, and they will be crying out loud, saying, "How long, O Lord? How long?" And so, you know what I mean. So I think that time is now. Huh.
Yeah,
Not
well, definitely.
yesterday. It's that time is now, not tomorrow. It's now.
Yeah.
And I think our prayer should be, Lord, for how long? How long will you let this happen before you take the avenge of the blood that is being spilled every day out in the street? So, Lord, how long will we have to wait for you? How long will we have to suffer under this? How long until you will come and restore us? That should be our prayer, not just for London, not just for Britain, not just for France, because France is also going down
Australia.
the drain.
Yep.
Australia, France, Germany is down the drain. Not too much, but a lot of areas. So,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, for how
Even
long?
Russia. Russia, all the southern states that used to be part of the USSR, like Uzbekistan and Azerbaijan and all those guys, that's all prominently Muslim now. So we got to pray for those guys too. Uh, and of course, Israel, they should be high up on our list of the prayers. And all the surrounding nations there, Egypt, even Saudi Arabia. We want to see as many people come to Christ in those areas, especially in the Middle East, where they don't have good access to Jesus Christ. I mean, it's crazy because I talk to a lot of people, and there's so many of them that just straight up said, "Man, Jesus visited me in a dream," and they just all of a sudden end up, in one of our channels. They're going, "Man, dude, you're not gonna believe why I'm here," you know.
Yeah,
He said,
absolutely.
I thought,
Because at the end of the day, it's in the Bible that during the end times, the Spirit, Holy Spirit, will develop fall upon the Jews and the Gentiles all together. There's no doubt about that. So, and it's happening left, right, and center. And that's the beauty of the scriptures, that whatever is being said, it's fulfilling left, right, and center, and it's just beautiful. um, but at the same time, things are getting worse day by day. But when I read the scripture, it seems like this was already predicted or prophesied. Let's just put it this way: it was already prophesied that this
Yeah,
is going to happen. This is how it is, and it has been prophesied, and that's what's happening.
I'm getting excited, man. I'm sorry. I
You're
really
getting
am.
excited, really? Come
Yeah,
on, man.
yeah.
I'm not
I
getting
mean,
excited. I'm getting
dude, I don't want to go
worried.
through it any more than you do, but it's if God says it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Come on, let's do it. Let's get it over with, man. Let's do this thing. Um,
So this platform called, and I spoke about it, that the CEO of Telegram was
yeah.
arrested. Let me show you. Uh, Elon Musk just shared one of his interview. I'm following Elon Musk as well, FYI. So check this out. Watch the interview.
To be fair, you have now Twitter or X,
Yeah.
that seemingly becoming more pro freedom of speech. It's a great development, and things are starting to change. It seems we love the fact that Elon bought Twitter. We thought it was a great development for a number of reasons. First reason is just innovation. You could see X trying a lot of things. Some of them will turn out to be mistakes. Some of them will work, but at least they're trying to innovate. That's something we didn't have outside of Telegram and a few other companies in this industry for the last 10 years. What X is trying to do is innovation, trying different things, trying to give power to the creators, uh, trying to get the ecosystem economy going. Those are all exciting things, and I think we need more companies like that. I don't know if it's good for humanity that like Elon is spending so much time on Twitter making it better, but it's definitely good for the social media industry.
So this guy is recently arrested a couple of days ago because apparently he did not allow the government to get a backdoor into Telegram, and he was arrested because supposedly his platform is being used by terrorists, and this guy
oops.
is being arrested. So imagine government wants to see whatever you are doing. So WhatsApp is no more secure. You all know that WhatsApp has been bought by the same team, you know who, and WhatsApp is no more secure anyways. Telegram was supposedly a secure platform, and then now this guy is arrested. Um
If you
and
have a cell phone, that's already over.
yeah, if you have a cell phone, obviously they are listening to your cell phone devices. And by the way, this Siri is already recording everything, because how can you say, "Hey Siri," and it will respond unless the Siri is listening to everything? Let me tell you something. You want to test about this? Let me tell you how to test it. And I've tested it many times. Go in another room, use a computer which you have not used before, your mother's computer, your sister's computer, your wife's computer, whatever computer you would want to use, and find a new word that is not in your dictionary, and it's a long word, right? And then come to your phone, which is right next to you, and start talking to somebody about the same word, whether somebody is there with you or not. Then open your phone, go to Google on your iPhone, go to Google and say, "What is," and start typing the first three letters of that word, and you will see that it will autocomplete it. It will come in your autocomplete. This bloody phone is listening to everything that you are saying, and the Google is going to automatically show you what you just said 2 minutes ago, what you just said 3 minutes ago, because this stupid device is listening to everything that you're saying. That's how easy it is to check.
Yep.
You will see that. You don't even have to say anything to me. Just go check it out. And if it is not true, let me know. And I've done that multiple times.
As
Go
long as
find a
you're not, as long as you're not trying to overthrow a government or kill somebody, okay. So if that's what they want to do, knock yourself out, guys. But I trust in Jesus Christ. I trust in Him first, and He'll take care of me. And when it's time for me to go home, that's when my time. That's when my time is, and I'm okay with that, right? So I'm not going to let these guys scare me into doing crap anymore. I'm way past that point now. I don't care. But in the same respect, I'm going to do what Jesus told me to do, right? I'm going to follow His commands. I'm going to love my neighbor as myself, and then I'm going to pass His word to everybody. Period. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. So, other than that, throw the fear out there. I really at this point, I don't care anymore. That's fine. We just gotta go round up all of Jesus' sheep. Be ready for him when he shows up. Right?
absolutely. So, guys, thank you so very much for being here, everyone. I know this is a very strange kind of a stream. It's one off. Let's just put it this way. I just had to get these things out of my chest because of what I see in the world right now. And you know, if anybody has any question now, this time to join in. Anybody, doesn't matter. A lot of people were previously saying, "Can I join? I have question." 1 minute or 2 minute. Okay. Anybody who has a question, now is the time they can jump in and ask any question if they want to, and then I will end the stream because yeah, I know today was not what you were expecting. I will change the title of this stream as well, and make it a globalization kind of a thing instead of just Islamic globalization, because it's just something that I just couldn't do what I used to do. And anybody who wants to join in, now is the time. Do join in. And before I end the stream as well, I have a super sticker from Lily. Lily, thank you so very much for your consistent and constant support to this channel. Appreciate it. God bless you always. Thank you so much. Um, so yeah, and if you are not following me on Twitter, please do follow me on Twitter, which is now called X. Twitter is X, so please follow me on X. You will see quite a lot of things. I don't usually, you know, post, but I post every second day or every other day, because whenever I go in Twitter, it's just so disturbing. So literally, I don't usually very often go into Twitter, but whenever I go into Twitter, I do post, which is twice or thrice a week, and I post a lot of stuff. God is good, guys. And if you have learned anything from me, know that you have to teach your children. Let me just tell you frankly, if you cannot tell your neighbor, if you cannot tell somebody who is in your office or in your college or in your school, at least educate your children. You know, that's easy. Educate your children, educate your brothers, educate your sisters, educate your family members. If nothing else that you can do, you can at least do it to your family. They deserve it. Let me just put it this way. They deserve it that you should tell them. You know, it doesn't matter that you are few. You don't have to follow the majority. If there are few of you, that is more than sufficient, because the few will become many. The time is now. It is now. If you won't do it now, you will not have time later. So If I can come on the YouTube and talk about all of these things, you can at least do it with your family. That's the bare minimum. If you can't even do it in the street or school, once again, I know I'm repeating myself, but humans are the animals of repetition. We want repetition because sometimes when you want things to get into your hearts and mind, you need to hear it again and again. And I'm going to say it again. If you can't even do it outside of your house boundaries, I acknowledge it and accept it. So at least start doing it within your family, to your family, so that they will have the knowledge, they will have the education. Let's not bind ourselves that okay, I if X is not doing, why should I do it? I am just one person. What change can I bring? No, brother, no, sister. You can bring a lot of change. You can bring a lot of change if you start doing it. Just start doing it. And because of you, somebody else will do it. And because of him, somebody else will do it. And so on and so forth. We have to all do it. Nobody should go into this cult created by one man 1400 years ago in the Arabian desert. Nobody should go in there based on lies. If they want to accept this cult, at least they should know the truth about this cult. They should know the reality of this cult. And after knowing the truth and reality, if they still want to do it, that is their choice. Because then the condemnation will fall upon them. Because they knew the truth, and even though they accepted it. So at least spread the knowledge and spread the information. And I'll come
There's
back.
a there,
Yes.
there's there's one verse, one part of a verse that I just want to mention really quick. It didn't really make much sense to me before, but now it makes all the sense in the world. It's Matthew 24:26, where it says, "Therefore, if they say to you, 'Look, he's in the desert,' do not go out." Yeah, so stay away from the desert, guys.
Absolutely. Stay away from Islam. Stay away from Islam. Thank you so very much for being here. Next Thursday, I'll start doing my regular way of streams, and I'm going to open another subject, a very nice subject. You'll be amazed. Once again, thank you all. Have a blessed day, evening, or night, wherever you are. Take care. God bless you. Yeshua Akbarul Azim.